About that, Pisces. I'm basically doing this video again because something goofy pretty much happened to the first situation. There was some sort of background noise on the phone, but anyway, from TikTok. But anyway, I closed out the app. Let's get into it, right? I'm not going to do that again. But you have the Tower, the Chariot, and then you, Pisces, have the King of Cups. So I've actually already done the reading, but you know, I'm doing it again because I'm trying to give y'all the highest quality possible. So for you Pisces, what you Pisces have got is the Tower, the Chariot, and like I said before, the King of Cups. So what's going on here is that you Pisces, ultimately, you are a lot more free to basically, you got a lot of things going well for you is the point that I'm making here, right? The Tower just represents the dysfunctional stuff that's happened to you in the past that is going to be very difficult for it to happen to you again, because you Pisces are staying away from weirdos. In essence, you're staying away from individuals that give you a difficult time when there's no point in doing that. And really what's going on here is that they're dysfunctional is what it is, right? Like they're dysfunctional, right? They can be hard pressed. They can act like they don't know what it is that they're talking about. And the reality of the situation is that I want you Pisces to understand that with this King of Cups right here, there is most definitely a shift coming, because I hear people all the time saying, you know, Kareem, you have a point. You know, a lot, you know, the stuff that it is that you be saying, people don't like it on a moralistic level, but it needs to be said because it is the truth. Don't matter how, if you like it or if you don't. You don't have to like it, but it is fair and it is the truth. And so a shift is happening where the people that has essentially done wrong to you, they're being held accountable by other people. The antics that it is that those people used to do with you Pisces, it's not working well with other people. See, back in 2000, I want to say it's back in 2015 and earlier, right? Because I was born in 91. We were in the age of Pisces, right? And I'm not knocking you Pisces, because I even have a Pisces ascendant. Because, you know, people are always so sensitive when you say some things that people don't particularly like. But we need to deal with both the dark and the light side in order to get better results here. Let's stop playing games with this. In the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius didn't really come around until 2012, right? So the age of Aquarius is about the need, right? Air signs, the need for truth, the need for authenticity, right? Aquarius being an air sign, the need for truth and knowledge, right? To know things, to have, to know things, to not just think you know it, but know it for real. And so, right, coming out of belief. And so Pisces represents belief, illusions, right? On the darker side, beliefs, delusions, right? Things that are covered up, right? So why that's so important in the first place is because there was a point in time where people were being very disingenuous with you Pisces, right? Where it was the cool stuff. It was cool to be disingenuous to y'all, delude y'all. Y'all Pisces are the ones who's bugging. Y'all are the ones who is wilding. Y'all know what y'all talking about. Now that we in the age of Aquarius, where you're seeing it in real time, on camera, pre-recorded, whatever it is, that what's happening here is that you have an individual that will do something messed up, and then they're getting the quote unquote karma back, because now it's, we don't have time for this, because, you know, we're in a time right now where you don't have, like, you have a you could lie. You always have a choice to lie, but if you lie, there's consequences coming with that, right? People won't take a person seriously if they just running around lying all the time. And so prior to 2012, you could have covered up anything that you wanted to. Now 2012 done came around. That's why it was so important. That's why everybody was talking so much about 2012. It was so trendy, because now we're in a time where 13 years removed from 2012, right? 13 plus 12 is 25, 2025 we're in, to the point where now it's a matter of, we've been 13 years in it, people gotta tell the truth. Because they have a choice not to, but if they don't choose to tell the truth and run game and do all that stuff, they're gonna find themselves being by themselves now. And this is why it is that you're hearing so many people complaining about they messed up good, otherwise good situations that they could have had with somebody that had a good head on their shoulders, but they wanted to be stupid, and then they end up winning stupid prizes because they were playing stupid games. And so that's what happened. That's what's happening with you. The Star card and the Five of Cups. A lot of you Pisces wish that y'all had this piece of information a lot sooner in y'all lives. A lot of y'all feel like y'all would have been much further ahead. But I'm here to let you Pisces know that ultimately, sometimes, yes, the timeline can be altered to where certain things don't necessarily have to happen, and you could have sped things up a little bit to make things a little bit faster, right, at the pace. But at the same time too, there's other aspects of life. What I'm realizing is that things happen, certain aspects can be sped up, delayed, stopped, but other aspects has to happen. They are fixed point, meaning that it has to happen. And what I'm trying to say here for you Pisces is that the betrayal that a lot of you Pisces gone through, I want to let y'all know that it had to happen. Because the reason why it is I'm saying that is because you Pisces may have essentially learned the information, and then y'all might have been the one to start playing people. See, you don't want to end up being as bad as the villain. You don't want to become the villain of the story. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is that you want to be different. You want to be a completely different species compared to the villain, right? That way you can still have things going your way, be in the right, but also be different from the villain, because you're going to essentially have the same kind of outcome the villain will eventually. And so why that's so important, so to speak, the villain, right, is because what I'm trying to say here is you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to learn the game earlier so you can start doing the playing, right? And too many people become dysfunctional because of that. Now the mentality is, oh, well, I gotta play people this. And it's like, but what value would that have brought to you? No, you Pisces learn the knowledge exactly when it is that you are supposed to learn the knowledge. You know why? Because you had to develop compassion and remorse and empathy and all of that, and sympathy, right, at a healthy amount, or a good mix for you, before you learn how to be intentional, focused, you know, a lot less trying to appease other people, because you know why. You needed the experience to know what will happen when you are empathetic and sympathetic to the wrong people. They will use you. They will use that against you. And so you Pisces understand, like, okay, you had to go through this. Now that you got the knowledge, you're justified in treating people to a certain extent, as long as it doesn't go overboard. But you're justified in treating people the way that you are. You'll treat them because they'll play games with you. You Pisces will leave. Then they'll try to come back crying. And then you Pisces will be like, on either side, because both sides do that. Trust me. And then you just won't accept it. And you'll be like, okay, fine, it is what it is. And so the situation with that is that the World card, the Knight of Wands, and then the Ace of Cups here speaks to how you Pisces should feel good about your place in life. You should feel good about that. You know why? Because you are rising up. I've been talking about it for weeks. And it's going to get even better. You're rising up higher, but you're not at a point where it's like, okay, you're flying too close to the sun. No, you worked for this stuff. You worked for it. You've worked out the dysfunctions. You've actually gone through the labyrinth. You've went through the ups and the downs, the peaks and the valleys and stuff like this, to do your best to become a better person. You legitimately really did that. You put in the work. And so the World card represents here that you should be proud to a certain extent because of that, right? To know that you actually did do the right thing. And see the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups right here. And so where it is that your life is going is in a very good direction that I'm seeing that a lot of you Pisces, you like. You like it now, but you're going to like it more than likely. Of course, things are subject to change if you don't make the wise decisions, but the way that your life is going, you're going to be even more so on point later. And so the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant, right, represents how this is a place for you where, and then not only that too, because your mind is better, it's more aware. The Hierophant represents self-awareness. It represents being the realist. It represents using, regardless of whether you believe in, whether you rock with religion or whether you rock with spirituality, whatever rocks your boat, whatever suits you, right? You are, even though you do have that stuff, you've rooted it in a real way where it actually works for you, which is what you're supposed to do in the first place. You're supposed to make religion or your spirituality, your philosophy, an everyday part of your life. It's what creates the curriculum that day. You know, it's what creates it. It's what drives you to actually make the decisions that you do on how does that you spend your day. So, you've learned how to be a very powerful realist. You know, to be idealistic, because Pisces, y'all can be idealistic, right? You see the bigger picture, but you got to understand though is just because you see the bigger picture does not mean that others will. Just because y'all have things going on and things that are going on that you like doesn't mean that other people have things that they got going on. You know, take a look at some of the people who came here was tiling the floors. They got here, they got here playing, started doing the floors, and then they want to come charge me $150 more, higher than the agreed upon price. Come to find out after doing some more research, the person who, or the people who came here, right, actually wasn't the two people who were supposed to come. It was one out of the two of them was supposed to come. But the person actually made a deal with their brother, and they end up doing dirty to their own brother. You see what I'm saying? So when you have people who live like this, the way that you Pisces are living, your life is on point, to say the least. Because you have people out here doing goofy stuff like that. And then now they come to be like, we talking on the phone, they talking about, well, then if you don't want to pay us the extra $150, we'll let the floors be what they are. The floors are done already, like, or practically done, right? And we're like, okay, fine. If that's how it is that you're going to be, bye, click. So let's clarify the Hierophant. King of Ariel, the Emperor, the Five of Michael, the Strength card, and then you have the Eight of Ariel to clarify the Hierophant. So again, the King of Ariel, okay, the Emperor, these two cards right here, you know, once again, like, you know, don't even worry about that stuff. The reason why it is I'm saying don't worry about it is because ultimately everyone who's ever tried to like put you underneath their thumb and get you underneath their control and all of that, it's backfired. And it's going to always backfire, because as long as you have your head on your shoulders, you have your head, your heart, you're a good person. Not a wimp, but a good person with standards and self-respect. No matter what it is that they do, they're going to betray their own self, because that's how stupid they are with it. And so the Emperor right here represents, this is why you shouldn't take certain people seriously and for you not to worry. A lot of you Pisces are not worried. Your life is going absolutely amazingly, or absolutely amazing in the direction in which you want it to go. So why would you be like down and stuff like this? You're not. The Five of Michael, the Strength card, and the Eight of Ariel represents, but a lot of the people who give you a hard time, they're down. They are dealing with a difficult time. You know why? Because they didn't see. Life brings prosperity to people who addresses it, not people who are sitting up there ignoring it, wilding out all day. And I'm glad that other people are starting to open up their eyes and realize that themselves, and they starting to talk about it. I'm starting to hear it. I'm starting to hear it in regular conversation when I go out. On Instagram, on TikTok, I'm starting to hear it, and I'm starting to hear it float around more. People are starting to address it. Like, you got a lot of these people out here who get themselves into these relationships, and the relationships be stupid because one person is trying to do something and the other person is just acting like they don't have any sense. Like, what be going on with them? And I'm like, see, I told you. They wait until they get themselves in these relationships and then they lose their mind. Now, when I had said, this is 2025, this proves my point. When I had said this 2011, people was blaming me. When I had said this 2010, people would be like, maybe you don't have enough swag. Swag will fix it. Swag will fix it. You know, money will fix it. Now it's being uncovered. No, money doesn't fix it. Money can't fix dysfunction like that. Now the people that I see back then, they just embarrassed because they just stuck looking stupid. Like, yeah, the advice that I was given was stupid. And I'm just sitting over here happy as a mug. So, you know, you Pisces, because y'all have been taking the time to address situations, doing the work, you've been dealing with messed up situations, addressing it, becoming better people, you can benefit now. That's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100,000. Smash the subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. If you want to come through and get a personal reading from me, or come through and get a personal reading from me, why not? A reading or some of my clothes that I have in the clothing store, or the books that I have there on Amazon, come through. Why not? All of that is in the Linktree link, and it's also links in my description box as well. Not only that, but I'm also releasing an app, hopefully very soon, that it's only going to cost $1. It's a video game, going to be fun stuff. Let me tell y'all, fun stuff. I think everybody is going to like it. I really do. I just see a lot of people liking it, right? If you're a Pokemon fan, I'm not saying that it's Pokemon. That's not what I said. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you're a Pokemon fan, you will rock with this one. Again, it's not Pokemon. I do not have the rights to that, right? But I love Pokemon, and it kind of reminds me of that, but it's not. That's it. Peace. Have a good one.